I just had to boss up
All
and
right,
be
y'all.
want to start
And
this.
so
I
to
had to
get
learn about the
this.
Nora roll, and once I got to it, I moved on. As soon as I found out about it, the girls they started to trip, But Nora became what it was though, so you knew for a fact I had the bounce though. I wasn't trying to sit up there and talk no more. I wanted to move on, baby. Nora roll of the story is what I did, so I left. I didn't want to talk no more.
Oh,
Nora roll, a Nora roll, a Nora roll snuck in, so I walked up out the door. Nora roll, so I didn't want to talk no more. Boom, boom. Nora roll of the story means get up, walk, switch, 1, 2. Put my heels on, never be cut out. I'm moving on,
so
baby. I don't want to talk no more. No roll, no roll.
I
So when I
am
look back
going
and see
to
nothing there,
move
it's
the things.
empty.
Welcome to
No, why?
Books That
Nora
Book
roll.
Me, the
I walk
podcast where
out, boom, boom, boom. I
mindset
don't want to
meets
talk no
style,
more. Boom,
and
boom,
every
a boom,
page
boom.
leads a transformation. I am your
Of
host,
the
and
story
Teja
is
Shakula Moore, mindset and style
you come into
coach,
me,
guiding
but you
you
know
through the
what it
books that
is.
shape
You
my
remember what it
confidence,
was, and you
refine my
know
image,
who
and
it
rebuild
was.
how I show up in the
Say the
world.
things that you
In
know,
each
no roll,
episode,
no
we
roll. So I
uncover
moved
the
on,
wisdom
moved on, I
between the
moved on,
lines and
moved
how
on.
it
No
lives in our
more
closets,
talking
our
about
thoughts,
the
and our
past.
decisions. This is
No
coaching
roll.
talk, not just
Just
book
say what
talk,
you
for
like
women
and say
becoming
what
more
you
of who
want.
they
Baby,
were
turn
always
my
meant to be.
back. I
Let's
won't
get
be
into
back.
it.
No roll, no
So we're going to
roll. You
discuss
can
the
say
horse
what you
Bible.
like and get that's cool. But turn my back, I ain't coming back. Cause I don't wanna talk to no
Okay,
fool.
and
No
so
roll,
this is
no
going to
roll.
be for episode
Yeah,
4,
just
and
like
the
that.
things that we're going to
I
focus
leave
on
them
is really
all in
the
between,
style
yeah, that's
from
a
the
fact.
Holy Bible.
How
So
I trying to talk
that
back.
is really
I'm
where
too
we
hot
want to go
for
ahead
it.
on and
Got to
start. So
move. So I
clothes and
walk
strength
across
and
the door
dignity
and
is what we're
stood
going to
up.
go ahead on and do with this
No
one as a
roll.
title. And so dealing with graceful confidence. Let's just start with graceful confidence. Graceful confidence is not fleeting like trends. So, okay, so what is considered your fleetingness about trends that is so kind of sort of tempting for the bandwagon? And I would say it's really just because it's something that everybody wants and doesn't even necessarily mean that it's what's appropriate to do. And we get so caught up in that, though, that we kind of sort of lose ourselves. And that's not really where you want to find yourself. So the shift for myself when I am kind of sort of like, okay, the Bible was taking place, that was when I first joined church. So we've been to different churches. I've been to the Word here in Cleveland, Ohio. I think I want to say Bedford, Maple Heights, something like that. The eastern suburbs of Cleveland, Ohio. Never went any further, never held any interest whatsoever. Even though it's world renowned, we're giving out free makeup, Avon, all kind of bribes, I guess, to get you to walk the stage and walk that plank with them. And I don't care for bribes, actually. So maybe that was what the disconnect was. And once I learned that, we never went back much else ever again, more truth be told. Nope. I can remember time. The one time I did go, we went with somebody who is a main recurring theme, sadly, throughout most of our online content, mind you. You know who you are, Timothy. And very, very, very sad. And so that never did work out. And then I think maybe I want to say family members. Um, So nobody ever really did the route that I had chosen. And I guess you can jump on a bandwagon to the point where that's really all that matters and count. Um, I guess same as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And it really is just, how many people can I squish into a spot like sardines? And that's really ultimately not what it's about. Being clothed in strength and dignity means I'm here, but I'm not here just to be crammed into a space to get your numbers where you want them to be at. That's dignity. Dignity means I'm here to serve a purpose for the Lord God, and that's why I'm here to do God's will, not yours. See, most people don't think like that. They don't think that way. And one, it's not graceful. I mean, being pushed, you're uncomfy, and then thinking that that's okay. What about that is a woman and standing in grace? So you really want to be kind of cautious of that type of behavior. So that's definitely what took place. I mean, that style of just feeling like you have to kind of sort of get yourself put in a certain headspace, and then you reflect that, and then you go. That's really how you kind of sort of have to maneuver those type of thoughts. And that's definitely real life moments for sure, for sure. I mean, if you want to pinpoint it, date and time, maybe 2015. And then a connection for the style was how these issues began to show up in our wardrobe, body language as well. I mean, sometimes when you are in church, you are not allowed to go besides in modesty. And modesty means it's not really much cleavage. It kind of sort of reminds you of a professional setting. You're not having your cleavage or just looking any other kind of way either. You don't really, uh, I mean, because who wants to be in church with just cleavage everywhere anyway? Like, it's really no point in doing that. And for myself, I've learned that you can have, which actually I have it over there now, but I kind of sort of like a cold body. I prefer being warm. And so I usually will have things tied and things like that in case I'm cold or I get cold or something's going on. And the air is right on me. I'm sitting somewhere and the air is just attacking me full throttle. Then I can just pull out and just have those type of pieces there that actually aid in my warmth. And so whether it's just now I did a sweatshirt the other day. I did a sweatshirt. We were downstairs and the air was blasting, and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, it's so hot on such a yeah, but I'm cold." You know what I mean? It's really that simple. And so, but that's from a family for grade I made personal jacket. You know what I mean? Don't leave the house without a jacket. So I always try my best to keep that. And so that's the style connection. You always want to be modest. Have your extra shawls or something that's revealed to cover that space. And then client takeaways. I mean, find graceful moments. And there's plenty in the Bible. Like Esther, there's no rule. She was the queen who had to sit there and feed all her people. And personally speaking, I like Naomi. That's was what Ruth's daughter-in-law or something like that. And she was trying to get rid of her and have her go somewhere else or whatnot. And she just loyally stood by her mother-in-law. And she ended up finding some happiness, so to speak, and ended up kind of sort of having some moments where she actually found a guy that went by the name of Bosa. And I want to say Bosa may have been the father and a lineage that came to deal with David, who actually ended up doing great things for God. So you just really want to be in that space where you can really have an identity and style that's rooted in the character that you admire. And last but not least, I'm going to go with a style prompt for picking a lady in the Bible and emulate them in your dress some kind of way. I don't even care what it is. If Naomi, you pictured her back then as wearing a turban, figure out how you can style your hair that mimics it for maybe like even just an hour. And see how you feel. Give off that energy, give off that type of vibe and see what takes place. That'll probably be something that's really fun. And to give you a little mini challenge, if you can do it by the end of the week, then that'll really kind of sort of speed up underlay. I mean, yeah. Uh-oh. And so that'll be something that's really fun. But yeah, actually definitely give the Bible 5 out of 5 stars. I mean, the Bible's the number one book in the world. The only one that's up there with the Bible is not even that way. It's right underneath, and that's Shakespeare. And Shakespeare is a definitely hard read, but I haven't even put Shakespeare on our books that built me list, even though Shakespeare is definitely in there. His plays, Much Ado About Nothing, which is a comedy. And I had never forgotten trying to focus on this film, but it was so difficult. And I was just because I'm always so moody. Like everybody just always just is irritating. So I'm always moody. Like if you don't want to be around no moody characters, I'm not your cup of tea. And so I was moody, did not want to be bothered with the film, did not want to laugh, did not feel like laughing. And I told my professor as such, I am not here to be laughing. I'm not in the mood for this. I do not want to sit here and watch your show. Just like that. And I found myself in the laughing, and I could kick myself for at that point in time. For sure. You already know that. And so, yeah, but nonetheless, the Bible is definitely a 5 out of 5 read. I definitely encourage you all to read the Bible. The Holy Bible has really changed my life in such drastic ways. I've met beautiful friendships, women that without them I probably wouldn't even be here. I hate that say I probably would have died a long time ago. Just based off the strength that they give compared to all of the drama that's out here in this world. Without them, I wouldn't have survived it. And that's really the power of the Holy Bible. And truth be told, I ended up having a Bible presented to myself as a young lady by my mom. And I just let that Bible sit there for years, just going by. But it was always really beautiful. And I always felt like I had this precious gift and it was pretty. So I never did kind of bang it around or put it out or whatever else. I actually just always sat and just admired it from afar, I guess, in so many words, if you will. Until I felt like, well, okay, maybe curiosity got the best of me. And so by that point in time, I ended up kind of sort of figuring out, what's going on with this book. And then I went through so many moments where I had like inside of the Bible, there's pages where there are like lines and you can write into like this Bible belongs to and only these spots and all of these things. And I just started writing all kind of names in from everybody that ever thought that they were going to do everything else. So, lucky them, but I'm just writing, then I cross it out, then I rip it up, then I throw it out. But I've already read the entire Bible by the time all of those incidences was kind of sort of on a back burner anyway to begin with. So just a bit of an FYI on a little backstory if anybody was curious on what that was about. And so, and then I went to a spot that was here, I want to say in Strongsville, maybe it was North Homestead. No, it was Strongsville, Ohio. So that's called South Park Mall. And there was a spot that was a bookstore and they had Christian type of, which most people follow the Holy Bible are normally Christians, but other religions are not really quick to kind of sort of just dismiss Christ and his role that he plays in the Christianity faith. So I just thought that was really wise, a really big piece of their wisdom. And so, and so we were in there one day in that section, and I ran across a really pretty trinket that was in the shape of a cross, and it was pink and blue and had like these different little artistic designs. And I always just hold it. I don't know. It just always calmed me. And then I had, it's almost like having a rattle. You know how babies like have their rattles, and I love to have a rattle with my baby. I love to just shake it and just it's soothing. And then so and I had gotten not just my cross either. It was like just something for a keychain, little trinket for the going keys. And what I had did was I wanted to have, because the Bible is kind of sort of by itself, it's leather bound and things like that. So when you have it and you put it into the space in that piece that goes into where you can slide, the front cover of it was, I want to say red, white, and blue. And on the front of it, the Bible cover, like a carriage you put into, it was a cross as well. And I would say it was like red. I want to say red and white. But it was really pretty, really nice. I really kept it all of those times until I just totally ate my Bible up and like it's gone now. Like I love my Bible to death. Okay. And so that's how the Holy Bible has definitely shaped and built me. um and that's what my other books really can translate back to the Holy Bible as to their conduct. That's why it's always so moody. People, and sometimes I guess it's atheists. I guess people really are going to hell. I guess it's really just that simple, and it's extremely difficult. So when you really run across those people who really got your back, man, you have lived some kind of life somewhere else and have been rewarded in this one because they can really take you there and take you down. And it is a dangerous fall. I will say that if you do not fly and flap your wings, because honey, these people, oh my God. And I have learned that I simply just do not like most people. And I know people are probably going to kick me for that, but it's got to be some real ones out there who can really respect where I'm coming from. Honey, I mean, because there's so much drama. It's so much drama in this world. And without having some kind of base that you can really sound and bounce back off of things that you want to do, you're not going to make it. I just don't believe that. I'm not going to ever settle for anything without a faith. I am just like, you know what? It's just been too crazy to think anything else, to think otherwise. There's no point. I mean, it's insane. It's so sad. It's so devastating. It's almost heartbreaking. It really feels at times where things are just feeling like things are not the way that they're supposed to have been. You're not supposed to do this. So if you do go to hell and if you are stationed there, you really do not deserve to get out until you have sincerely changed your ways. Because, honey, mm, let's go on to the outro. Thank you for joining me for another chapter of Books That Built Me. If this episode shifted your mindset or elevated your style, leave a comment or review. Remember, you're not just reading books, you're rewriting the woman you're becoming. Wear your truth bold. I'll see you next time.